guys, it's Kathleen, and today I'll be bringing you my fall TBR. I've pretty much given up on doing monthly TBRs. I find I don't stick with them, and I don't think they're that productive. I know that people like watching them, which is why I think I want to do seasonal TBRs, where every season I just talk about books I want to read that I think will fit with that season really well, and what I'm hoping to get to. Especially going into fall, I'm really not going to have a lot of time to read because of school starting up, so I really am not going to finish any books that I put on my TBR, chances are, so I don't want to commit to something I know I'm not going to get to. But if you are interested, these are all the books that I hope to read at some point during this fall. So the first book I want to read is very fitting for fall because it is a horror book, and that is There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This is a funny book for me because a few videos ago I'd said I'm probably not going to read this because I don't think the genre would suit me very well, and I didn't like Anna and the French Kiss, so I was pretty positive that I didn't want to read it. And then I got this in the mail, and it turned out that I requested this as an ARC a long while back, and I just assumed I wasn't getting it, and then it came in, and I was like, well, I kinda have to read it now, so I'm gonna read this. This comes out in September, so I'm gonna read this quite soon. I won't be able to read it in October as sort of a more Halloween-y read, although I would like to, but I'm gonna do that this September. Hopefully in the next week or so I'll have this finished, and I do want to do a review at some point of this, I think I'm gonna review, so yeah, you'll be seeing a review of this book. Most likely. Next book I'm planning on reading this fall is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This I feel like is the quintessential Halloween read, so I'm hoping to get to it this October. I think it's super creepy sounding and gothic, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. It's a classic, I want to read more classics, and I've never really read anything by Oscar Wilde. I know this is his only novel, and it was actually banned a few times, I believe, for having like homosexual themes or whatever, but I do really want to read it. I think it sounds really neat, so I'm looking forward to reading it. And then next up here we have The Female of the Species by Mandy McGinnis. This is one of those books that I just always associate with fall because I bought it last fall and I intended to read it and it didn't happen, but because of that, I always think of this book when I think fall because it was released in the fall and I bought it and I still haven't read it. But I believe this is about a girl whose sister gets murdered or raped or something like that, and she decides she's going to take matters into her own hand and kill the guy who did it. I'm pretty sure that's the plot of this book, and apparently it's very feminist and deals a lot with rape culture and has some very dark and disturbing themes and elements to it, so I am looking forward to reading it. I think it's a dark read and that'll be good for fall. We'll see. And then another book I'm planning on reading this fall is another ARC, and that is All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. This is one of those books where I feel like I'm going into it pretty blind. I really don't know the plot of this book at all, and I didn't read The Raven Boys. If you want to know a funny story when it comes to The Raven Boys, I bought the first book 2 years ago, I think, and then I left it in my friend's car, and then I just never found it again. So I've never read The Raven Boys because I didn't want to repurchase it, and I just had never gotten around to getting it out of the library, so I'd never bothered. And now I have the chance to read a Maggie Stiefvater book, and I'm really excited. I've heard really quality things about her writing, so I'm looking forward to reading this one this fall. It comes out in October, so I need to get to it fairly soon. And then also this fall, I want to read Emma by Jane Austen. I associate Jane Austen with fall as well, and that's because I read Pride and Prejudice for the first time in October 2 years ago, so that is why I always think of Jane Austen when I think of the fall, and I think I'm really going to enjoy it. I also really associate fall with classics, if you can't tell from this TBR. I always think classics when I think fall, and I don't know why, but there's something very cozy and intellectual about them. It's probably to do with school starting, I don't know, but it's always what I think of when I think of actually reading in the fall, so I am looking forward to getting to this. It's kind of a long one, so I'm thinking this might wait till reading week, but yeah, I do want to hopefully read it this fall. And then another book I plan on reading this fall is Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. This is a book I was actually inspired to read by beautifully bookish Bethany. I will link her channel down below, who is doing an initiative called September for Syria, where she'll be reading books by Middle Eastern authors, and I've had this on my shelf for a while, so I was thinking this would actually be a good time to read it. This is one of the books on her reading list, so I'm gonna give it a go this month. It seems like a really good story. It seems to be a memoir of a girl who grew up in Iran and the story of her life, so I think it sounds really interesting and really important, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And then you guys saw this one coming, but yes, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. It's on another TBR. So I started this beginning of July, no, June. I started this in June, and it has been on the last 2 TBRs of mine, and I have not finished it yet. Obviously, I've read every Harry Potter book a million times, but I want to finish it. I'm at page 500, and I just want to do it. I know I have to, and I just want to finish my reread because I hate DNFing things, and I'm not even really DNFing something I'm rereading, but I don't like starting it and then not finishing it, so I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna finish it, and it's gonna happen. And then finally, I'd like to add a mystery book to my TBR, but I'm not 100% sure which one to pick. I have a few kind of floating around my head. I think I'd like to do something by Louise Penny. Apparently there's one that takes place in the fall. That sounds very interesting. But mysteries have just in general been something that's appealing to me lately, and I really think of them when I think fall and sort of cozy and growing up with tea, so I really, really want to read a mystery. I like cozy things, not anything super graphic or anything. I don't like really, really specific detailed descriptions of dead bodies. I like slightly more eerie, cozy mysteries. I really love those. So if you guys have any suggestions for a mystery other than Agatha Christie that would be really good to start with, then please let me know. It's a genre I want to get more into, and I want to know more about it, and I want to keep reading. So please let me know what you think would be a good one for me to read. But yeah, those are all the books I'm hoping to read this fall. I cannot promise you that it will happen, but I can promise you I will try. I'm going to have other books I need to read that will get in the way, and I will have school books to be reading in the fall, and I'm actually going to make a separate video about my reads of the fall for school, so I really want to talk about that. Reads of the fall, that's a great title of this video. So look out for another video on that topic. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. If you would like to follow me on any of my social medias, the links will all be in the description. But in the meantime, I will see you guys next time.